What up? This is Yinka Diz.
Peace, this is Outlaw.
And listen to the 80s Babies podcast.
And on today's episode, we have a top 5, which is essentially us going through our top 5 of any particular topic. So it can range from like top 5 albums of all time, top 5 producers of all time. On this very first segment, we're going to do a very fun one. So we're going to do the top 5 whitest hip hop songs of all time. And before we get started, I guess we should at least acknowledge Panama for this, right?
Okay.
So this isn't necessarily inspired by Panama, but we do at least have to acknowledge that on his Dear Culture podcast, which y'all should check out, he invited Yinka and I on there to do our top 5 blackest songs of all time for Black Music Month.
Yeah.
Now this is just something that just happened to pop into my head because one of these songs was in my head. And I was like, yeah, that's a white ass hip hop song. We should do a top 5 for white ass hip hop songs. So that's exactly what we're doing on this episode. So I'm going to go through my list of top 5 and Yinka will go through his list of top 5. And if y'all have anything to contribute, you can share your thoughts in the comments.
All
right. So should I start off?
Yeah, go for it.
So my 5th whitest hip hop song of all time is none other than Run DMC. It's Tricky. This is released 1987 and is produced by Rick Rubin. So you're familiar with the song It's Tricky?
Yeah.
So the reason why this goes into my list is because I only know this song because of not Powder Puff, but like homecoming pep rallies.
Okay.
Stuff, right? So you went to Oakland, right? Did you have when you did a homecoming, did you have like a male drill team?
I don't think so.
All right. So did you guys have a drill team? Do you know what the drill team is?
No, what's that?
Drill team was essentially just like, they weren't cheerleaders, but they were like the dance troupe for whatever, right?
Yeah.
So for our homecoming pep rallies at Lake Braddock.
Y'all had male cheerleaders?
For the pep rally.
Oh, okay.
Right? So it's essentially, I think it was a male drill team. I forget exactly what it was called, but it was essentially like these bros would go out there. There'd always be like a few token black guys, right? But they're in there in their white t-shirts and they've got like their pom-pom skirts or whatever. And it's supposed to be silly. And they're in there dancing and doing whatever, right?
Okay.
And one of the songs that they always played was It's Tricky from Run DMC. It's the only time I've ever really heard this song was in like white spaces.
Okay.
It's tricky to rock a rhyme is right on time. It's tricky. So
I wouldn't think of it as a white hip hop song, but white people definitely know that song.
I've never heard this. I never heard black people play this song. I only know this song from white people.
Okay.
The funny thing about this though is it's did you know that Run DMC were not on Def Jam?
They were managed by Rush.
They were managed by Russell,
but they weren't.
But they were not on Def Jam. They were on
true.
Profile.
I don't think I remember that. But
yeah, well,
I remember that they were not on Def Jam, but I don't know that I remember that.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking that
up. Because LL Cool J was the first Def Jam artist.
Maybe it was LL Cool J, or I know Beastie Boys were also on Def Jam.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, but it was produced by Rick Rubin. And Rick Rubin is on here quite a few times, actually.
Okay.
But yeah, so this is my number 5 and top 5 whitest hip hop songs.
Okay.
All right, so number 4, and this is the same concept. Quite a few of these are actually the same thing. I'm at the pep rally, and this song is always, and I'm talking about like from year to year to year, right? So Lake Braddock was a secondary school, meaning that 7th, 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade, all in the same school, and we always did these homecoming pep rallies. So for 6 straight years, I heard these 2 songs every single homecoming for this male drill team. So number 4 on this list is from the Beastie Boys, Brass Monkey.
Okay. Yeah, that's
and
a
look,
white-ass song.
You gotta have Beastie Boys on here at least once, and that's no disrespect to Beastie Boys. They got some jams that I really really like. But Brass Monkey is a song that I've only heard in these very very white spaces.
Yeah. I've never heard a black person listening to Brass Monkey.
Exactly, and this is one that like I heard constantly in these white spaces at these pep rallies. And it's just a song that I just heard white people celebrate a lot. So, number 4, Beastie Boys, Brass Monkey. All right, number 3 is, I'm sure, something that's going to be on your list as well. And that is Sir Mix-a-Lot, Baby Got Back, released 1992. Again, produced by Rick Rubin, which I did not know.
I did not know that either.
Yes, Rick Rubin produced this one.
Wow.
Is this one on your list?
For sure.
Yeah. And so the funny thing is, I actually kind of have to like apologize to Sir Mix-a-Lot a little bit, right?
Okay.
He actually had a decent rap career before this single. I think his debut album went platinum. He's from, I know. It went platinum. He's from Washington, I think, and he's got
Washington
joints.
State?
I think so.
Okay.
And he's got joints that sound like they're like the old like Ice-T kind of vibe, right? He's like, I think that when he made this song, he had good intentions. It was just really, really bad. Like the objectification of black women. Like I remember hearing his thoughts on this when it came out, and he was like, "Look, I don't like the way that these white women get celebrated, and I don't like the way that they shit on our black women. I want to celebrate the curviness of black women. Y'all think it's ugly. I want to celebrate this." That was his intention. Yeah. It just landed all wrong. And I think the fact that he has like the Beckys at the beginning of the song, white people took this and all the things that he was trying to do, they ended up like they ended up just using that as like ammunition for all the things that they feel about black women and bodies and all this other shit. And they have completely taken this song and co-opted it. And I don't know if it's rightly so or what, but white people love this song so much.
They do.
This is another one that was constantly in the pep rallies. And like I know it's on your list, so there you go. All right, so number 2 from Eminem, and we had to have a white song from Eminem. I'm gonna go with The Real Slim Shady, and this is released 2000. It's the first single off the Marshall Mathers LP. And if you go back and listen to our podcast on the Marshall Mathers LP, which I would highly recommend, it's one of our better ones. We made the point that Eminem was like a battle rapper who wasn't battling any other hip hop MCs in the game, with the exception of Will Smith. But Will Smith was also a pop icon. And the ironic thing about this is that Eminem wanted to be respected as this dope MC lyricist, which he absolutely was. But the music that he was making wasn't really for that audience. And I think that I remember when he did this whole performance and he came out and he actually gave a pound to Carson Daly and Fred Durst or whatever. And he had all those other white boys out there with the platinum blonde hair and everything. And he's sitting there and he's dissing Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears and NSYNC and Backstreet Boys and all this stuff. And it's just like the ironic thing that this guy who wanted the respect, the hip hop respect that he had initially, right? All of his battle raps are all to pop icons, which for me solidified Eminem as a pop icon, which probably was not his intention, but that is what it is. So Real Slim Shady, we got to give that to one of the whitest hip hop songs you'll ever hear. And then my last one, number 1, I'm going to give it to Flo Rida, Low. Yes. This one was released 2007. I think T-Pain is heavily involved in this. And for me, this is the whitest hip hop song I've ever heard. I don't think that was Flo Rida's intention when he first came out. I think that when T-Pain brought Flo Rida into the game, it was very much capitalizing on whatever T-Pain sound like. That whole era of hip hop, which I absolutely hate, right? Flo Rida is in that. And I think initially, this is a song that I would hear at black parties for about like a few months. And then for the next 10 years, the only time I ever heard this song was at white parties. And I feel like this is one of those songs that like white people like, that they don't realize that black people don't really fuck with this dude like that.
This shit.
Right? And like, look, you've been around here. Have you ever partied in Clarendon and Roslyn, anything like that?
I try not to.
But you've been there.
I have. Yeah,
You'll hear this song twice a night.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? They fucking love this shit.
They do love it.
And, you know, the fact that they even cracked that joke in Atlanta about Flo Rida, I think it was season 1 when they cracked the joke about like playing Flo Rida, whatever. I just had to acknowledge that every single time this song is played, I don't hear any black people really jamming to it. And I've seen like video footage of Flo Rida in concerts. Everybody there feels like they're white or white adjacent somehow. And I just feel like Flo Rida, like he's just that guy that white people sometimes, when they like fetishize blackness and they think they're like, oh, like he's representative of everything cool that's black. They look to him, and of course he's giving them space, and so they feel elevated by being in his presence or whatever. That's just kind of like my thoughts about Flo Rida in this song, Low. Anyway, I hate this song, but this is some white ass hip hop shit.
Yeah, it's some white ass shit.
So there we go.
So on the on the Flo Rida tip, my memory of Flo Rida, because literally the only thing I will want to even remember about this dude is me and Brian, rest in peace, the homie Brian. So me, B, a couple other the homies, we used to like maybe once a year or something like that, we would rent a house in the hills in Cali, and throw a party out there, right? So So we rent this house, and we're out in LA. And so, we would like meet girls and invite them to this party or whatever, right? So Brian, meets these girls and he invites them to the party. And so we had one rule. You could come, you could bring your girls, but no dudes. Can't bring no dudes. That's the one rule. So I'll never forget me and B, we sitting in the house, we getting everything ready, we putting out the drinks, whatever. Chick calls. Brian puts it on speaker, and she's like, "Hey, yeah, so I know you guys said that like we can't bring any guys or anything, but like, do you think that you can make an exception?" And then she's like, "My friend, he's Flow Rider." Right? So Brian turns to me and he goes, "Flow Rider?" And I said, "Nah, fuck that. No dudes." No dudes, right? So he's like, "Yeah, nah, sorry. The homie said no dudes." She was like, you can hear her like hesitating because California, like everybody's all about clout and like celebrity and shit. So she thought because she said it was Flow Rider, we were gonna be like, yeah. It's like, nah, fuck that, no dudes. Shit was hilarious. So every time I think of Flow Rider, I think of how I was like, no, that nigga can't come to the party.
When was this?
This must have been, man, 2014, 15.
Okay, all right. So this is well after. So
Yeah.
What if it was like Flow Rider in 2007? Would y'all made it the exception?
No,
Okay.
Fuck that nigga.
What if it was Snoop though, or someone cool?
If it was Snoop, I'd probably be like, yeah.
All right.
Flow Rider, definitely strong no. Sorry,
That's
bro.
hilarious, yo. That's
But
hilarious.
yeah, that's my memory of Flow Rider, not letting him come to our party.
So before we get into yours, how's my list?
It's solid.
Solid?
It's solid. I wouldn't have thought about Flow Rider just because I don't think about Flow Rider. So I'm glad that he made the list. I feel like the Beasties is easy. It's low hanging fruit. What was the first one? It's tricky. Yeah. So
Okay.
it's cool.
All right. So what we got?
I'll go through mine pretty quick. Number 5, Nelly, Ride With Me.
Okay.
White people fucking love this song. And I don't know black people that like listen to this song. Like I feel like Nelly has a couple of records that black people like will still listen to. But like I've never been at a black party and Ride With Me come on.
Was Ride With Me, was that on the debut album?
Mm-hmm.
Black people fuck with that shit for a minute though.
But now, like
no, not now. Not
if
now,
you wanna
not
go
now.
and think I'm right with me, white people fucking love that shit. They lose their
Yeah.
mind every time.
No, that's the. I mean, look, I think that was the same thing for Low, right? Like
Yeah.
when that song came out,
Yeah, it
we were
was
playing
cool.
at the black parties, and
Yeah.
then it had its run, and then wait, why
Right.
is this? Why am I still hearing this song?
Exactly.
Same thing for Ride With Me.
Yeah,
Like why?
they
Yo,
love it.
that shit was like 2000 or whatever. Like let it go. It's in the past.
But I don't know what it is about. There's certain things that they just latch onto and they make it theirs. Like Ride With
Must
Me
be the
is
money.
white people. Maybe that's what it is.
I don't know.
Maybe it's must be the money.
Probably.
That must be what it is.
I mean,
All
look, Nelly was really good with tricks.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's got the guitar in there,
Mhm.
and it sounds very palatable for them.
Yeah,
like,
that's
you
true.
know.
That's true. It sounds like a Post Malone song before Post Malone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, look, it's a pop song.
Yeah.
Is it not?
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah,
next,
it's a good pick though. That's
I
number
appreciate
5,
it.
right?
That's number 5.
All right.
Number 4, Kanye West, Gold Digger.
Really?
Yes. I think this is the song that makes white people think they can say nigga. And I think that's the reason why they like this song so much. But I always wondered, like, why do white people love this song so much? Because like we liked it too, right? Like
Yeah.
black people liked it
I love
when
this
it
shit
came
when it
out.
first came out.
Yeah, but like if you go to a white party now, like Gold Digger, they love it, and they love the part when it's she ain't messing with no, like they like to teeter the line, like walk to the borderline of saying the word nigga. Like I don't know, I think that's the reason they like this song. But white people
Man,
love this song.
It's not just that one. Look, Sucker Nigga. I've been at a Tribe concert when white folks had no filter.
Yeah.
You also have Niggas in Paris, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's quite a few.
But Gold Digger's the one that like I think they love like all the stereotypes, like we want prenup and all the shit like that.
true.
You know, they love it. Like
Look,
white people love
try
it.
this on for size. One of my coworkers, he's my boss's son, right? And someone had, for whatever reason, like we're on Teams, we're on a group chat or whatever, and so we're typing some things, and he types down. He says, I think he says hot, or he said Bobby Schmurder
Hot boy
was my but he didn't actually say the word.
Okay.
But he said Bobby Shmurda, that was our theme song in college. And I was like, I know every single one of y'all said the N-word. Like, don't tell me
you said that to him?
No, but so here's the thing
okay.
though. We also have at work on Teams, we also have a black chat
Okay.
where it's just like black coworkers and we're talking and we're like, good and goddamn well he dropped the N-word in college. Like, anyway, but yeah.
Yeah. So all right, that was my number 4.
Digger. Got you.
Number 3, Eminem, Lose Yourself.
Okay.
I feel like Lose Yourself is like the Rocky theme song for white people now.
Yeah.
Like, and like they can rap every like Mom Spaghetti to the point where he's even able to create a restaurant called Mom Spaghetti because white people like that song so much.
He has a restaurant called Mom Spaghetti?
It's a chain now that they're putting out in Detroit. So I think they opened their flagship location like last year.
Look, no disrespect to Eminem or that song, because I actually think that's one of the last good songs he made, right?
Yeah.
But it also spawned one of my favorite jokes from Chappelle's show when Chappelle is doing like his life story. Okay. And he's talking about how he's rapping. And he's like, jokes and jokes and jokes and jokes and spaghetti, spaghetti, spaghetti.
Right.
But yeah, no, that's look. If
white
it
people
wasn't,
fucking love that song.
If it wasn't going to be the real Slim Shady, it was definitely going to be Lose Yourself.
Yeah.
So like that's like their motivational. Like whenever they have like sports highlights and it's their guy, you have to have Eminem Lose Yourself on in the background.
Right.
For sure.
Hilarious.
Yeah, that's a good pick. Is that number 3?
That's number 3.
All right.
Number 2, you had this already. Baby Got Back.
Yeah.
Sir Mix-a-Lot. We don't have to talk about it more,
Right,
but yeah, that's white people fucking love that
they
song.
They do fucking love that song. Like and
like unironically.
That's they don't realize how like offensive it is. They just they love it, and it's just oh my God, Becky, look at her. Oh my God,
they love that.
That was another one that they played at the pep rallies too.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Number one, whitest song of all time.
Whitest hip hop song. What you got?
Vanilla Ice, Baby. Okay. It had to be. I was actually surprised it wasn't on your list.
Look, that to me was kind of like the low hanging fruit. And that like Ice Baby is not a song that's really. I think it's so obvious that it hasn't really carried throughout the years. Like so, for example, there's no reason why It's Tricky and Brass Monkey, why I had to listen to these songs so much as an adolescent, but I did. Okay. Ice Baby never really carried, and it's also kind of like a joke. Like when you say Ice Baby, like you're referencing Vanilla Ice. It's kind of like a joke. No one really jams to that now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like at a throwback party, whatever. Like no one's gonna put that on unless they're being ironic. So that's why it's not on my list.
Well, no, white people put it on, and they're not being like they're not joking.
All right.
The other crazy thing about it is Under Pressure is actually a great song.
It is.
And
by, is that by Queen or is that by the Clash?
Queen and David Bowie.
David Bowie, yes.
Queen and David Bowie, right. And but like,
a good song.
But now it's like when you hear the you don't know where it's going. Like and it's more likely to be going Ice Baby than it is Under Pressure, which is
it's a good point, because when I hear that opening, I'm like, if I hear Under Pressure, I feel like good.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly. Exactly. Like when I hear Under Pressure, like I like breathe a sigh of relief. Like thank God. Like
But no, look, I think the real obvious one for me, for both of us, was obviously Baby Got Back. But yes, for sure, Ice Baby is definitely one of the whitest hip hop songs you will ever hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, right, like I had a couple of honorable mentions.
Okay.
And one of them is your man's.
Which one?
Juicy by Biggie. I feel like white people have co-opted that joint. Like it's like this. It might be theirs now.
I feel like it took a while for that to happen, though.
Yeah.
It wasn't right away.
Yo, it's bad now. Like I'll never forget. I was this must have been 4 years ago, maybe. Mm-hmm. I was at a corporate function, right? Yeah. It was a corporate end of the year party.
Yeah.
So they took us to like a dinner or whatever, and then afterwards, the dinner was in like Chinatown in New York. Mm-hmm. And so there was a karaoke bar next door to this because it was like Korean barbecue.
Okay.
And the next door was this karaoke spot.
Gotcha.
So they took us to this karaoke spot afterwards. So we're there. It's me, a bunch of white people. You know how it is, right? You know where this is going, right? So we're there. Of course, these people, they don't know that I rap. They don't even know that I'm into rap. I'm just the black guy there, right? And I don't talk about anything personal at all.
Yeah.
So I'm chilling, and they're getting different people to go up and sing, and they're like, "Oh, Yinka, sing," And I'm like, "Nah, I'm cool. I'm chilling in the back." You don't want to sing?
Nah.
So then they start picking songs for me, right?
Jesus.
So of course the first song they pick is Juicy, and they're like, Yinka, go up and rap to Juicy, and I'm like, I don't know this song, right? And they're like, what do you mean you don't know this song? I'm like, I don't know. I've never heard this song. They're all looking at me like, what the fuck is wrong with this black guy?
But Yinka, you wear loose fitting jeans and a cap. You've got a jersey on.
They've never seen me in casual clothing. I've looked like every other token black person in corporate America to them. But yeah, so somebody else had to rap Juicy, and you could tell, like you could tell when the rap songs, every time the N-word's coming up, they're like, oh, looking over at me like, can we say it? Is he gonna be offended?
The funniest thing about the N-word, right, is that, like, for a solid 10 years of my life, I think from the age 19 through like 29, I did not say the N-word. In fact, because we had like a pact in college. This is all the like New Yorkers were like, yeah, we're gonna stop saying the N-word. The longest time we just did not say it, including when we rapped songs.
Okay.
It's not that hard to not say it. It really, really, really isn't. It really is not that hard to just bleep it out.
Yeah,
so
it's privilege.
Yeah.
So the last honorable mention, because these were the two that I had to push. I had to push off the list. Will Smith getting jiggy with it.
Okay.
I don't know that I've ever seen black people admit to liking this song. But white people love this song.
You know what though? Look, real talk. Will Smith from 1997 through 2000 is probably like one of the whitest hip hop songs ever. I mean, look, you think about it, like he had the Wild Wild West.
Yeah,
he had Men in Black, which actually
is not that bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say Men in Black is actually kind of like
it's a little bit of a bop.
Yeah. But then you had Miami. You had the one you just said, Getting Jiggy with It. Yeah, and then of course like that
Wild Wild West song was fucking horrible.
It was terrible, but it was also piggybacking off of Fresh Prince.
Yeah,
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which would be a white ass hip hop song, but I think black people are still holding on to it.
Black folks are like, nah, y'all ain't gonna get this.
You can borrow it. You know, if you want to sing along, fine, but you're not taking that shit.
Right.
So yeah,
I want to say I saw something that said like the number one most popular hip hop song of all time is the Fresh Prince.
Was that the thing that you were showing us? It was a TikTok. I think he shared that with the Panama
okay, maybe.
Text. Yeah. And he said the most famous lyrics of all time would have been "Lose Yourself." Okay. And he was doing like a lot of different numbers. It was a lot of just like math. Right? He said, "Well, Lose Yourself is the most streamed song ever, so therefore whatever." And he said, "Well, actually, you know, the opening theme song to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is probably the most popular song ever. So there you go."
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, but no, they're not going.
Yeah, but getting jiggy with it, they can have jiggy with it. They can have that one.
Yeah, you can have that one.
Yeah.
All right, so let us know how we did. If you have any contributions, please comment. And we're gonna try to give you more of these top fives in the future. If you guys have any ideas, let us know.
For sure. Peace.
All right, peace.